Hey everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching today. So this is my last Christmas tutorial for my Christmas series 2021, and I'm finishing with these very sweet little Santa's sack table favours. So you can have them on their own like this, or you can add a base. This is a 5-inch diameter circle with some snow, so they will stand up, although they stand up without it as well. So I just wanted to give you a few options. This one's just going to go under the tree, and this one is going into a hamper. So it's a proper drawstring. You just pull this piece here and then it will open up, so you can fit quite a bit in there, but it will hold a Terry's chocolate orange really nicely, and obviously the weight of that as well is going to, you know, keep it standing up. And then it just does up by pulling that like so, and then the same with this one here. But I've got the lollipops in there. I'm going to have a lollipop, maybe 2 in this one, in the hamper. It looks really nice, kind of just sat amongst the straw or the hay, whatever it is that you might be using. But also when I was making these, they did remind me of something else, and I don't want to say what it is because I may be demonetized or the video would be flagged, possibly taken down. I don't want that, because that's obviously, you know, not what my thought process was when I was making this. But when I was putting it together, I thought it is reminding me of something else. So let me know in the comments what you think it is. I also see it as a perfume bottle. You could certainly go taller with the sides here, and I think it would look quite nice. Just change it, you know, with the colours and the pattern papers, just always transforms these things into something else. And you could maybe stick another one underneath or something, and I don't know, you can get quite creative with these like faceted kind of shapes. They're really cool, but it is pretty straightforward to make. If you've made the witch's cauldron, then it's that same kind of concept, just the top's a little bit different. So just lots of scoring and some cutting, but 1 sheet of paper and then some mats and layers there to decorate the side, and then with a little tag. So let's get started, and I can show you how to make these cute little table favours. So to make one of the sacks, you're going to want a piece of 10.5 by 6.5. This is about a 240 GSM. It's the Craft UK Red card that I've used. Along that long side, you're going to score it every 1 inch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. If you're using a directional pattern paper, make sure it's the right way up when you've just done those score lines. Then you're going to rotate it so that you've got the 1/2 inch tab at the bottom, and you're going to score it 1, 2, 4, and 5.5. Then pop it back along the long side again with that 1/2 inch tab on the right hand side. And all of these score lines that I give you next, you're just scoring to the first score line. You can see I've already done them, but they're all just to this score line here. So you're going to score at 3/8 of an inch and 5/8 of an inch. Then at 1 3/8 and 1 5/8. Then at 2 3/8 and 2 5/8. 3 3/8, 3 5/8, and so on. It's the 3/8 and the 5/8 within each of those 1 inch sections. Okay, so if you look at your 1/2 inch marker on your scoreboard, it's the marker before that and the marker after. We've just given ourselves this little 1/4 inch piece, and that's going to be the pieces that we roll to have the drawstring. If you then just flip it over, so you've still got the 1/2 inch tab on the right hand side, but you're now working on the other long side. We're going to score again. These are just cut lines, so it doesn't matter which way the score line is. So this time we're making the base, so we need it to be a bit thicker. So this is at 1/4. Again, all these measurements I give you are just to the first score line. So it's 1/4 of an inch and 3/4, then 1 1/4, 1 3/4, 2 1/4, 2 3/4, 3 1/4, and 3 3/4. So again, it's that 1/4 and 3/4 marker within each 1 inch section all the way along. These will all be written, the measurements, in my blog, but you can just see what you've got to do. That's quite easy. So you should now have something like this. So that's all the scoring done. You want to now fold and burnish all the score lines. So again, make sure you've got that 1/2 inch tab on the right hand side. We're going to cut up all of these little score lines here. So you're only cutting up those ones that you've scored to this first score line. You're never cutting down the full score lines here. So I'm going to cut up that first one, and then I'm going to go across to this one. So like I said, if you've done the witch's cauldron, or if you've made any shadow boxes, it's a similar kind of way that we're cutting here. So I've cut down that one, then that next score line, cut down, but then I'm cutting across to join that main long score line. Then I'm going to miss that one, and I'm going to go across to this one, cut up, and then cut across. So we've got this shape within that 1 inch section, and you want to do that along all of these pieces here. So I'll do another one with you. So you're going to cut up that one and then cut across to join this score line. Then you're going to miss that score line and then go to that next one and then cut across to join it. So there's our second one. So just repeat that all the way along. Now when you get to this one, you're going to cut across and you should join that 1/2 inch score line. You can then just remove that piece completely. Now what I would also do is just cut that on an angle so you've got a little wedge there, because that's going to become the little tab to put it all together. But you should have something like this. And it always reminds me of like Harry Potter, like the bridge to Hogwarts or something. So, but that's the kind of effect you want. Then if you turn it around like I just did then, you want this 1/2 inch now on the left hand side, and you're going to do exactly the same along these score lines. So we're starting this corner, so I'm going to cut down that score line, and then I'm going to go down to the corner of that next piece, and then that next score line, and then across and down to this main one here. Exactly the same there, you've just got a slightly thinner top part, and this is taller than this section here. Then you're going to miss that score line and then go to this one. So again, you're just cutting down every one of those score lines that are just to this first one to create that same pattern. Okay, so I'm going to carry on and do all of those ones. And then with this one, again, just go across till you meet that 1/2 inch, and then just remove all of that, and then just cut that on an angle, like so. So you should have something like this. That 1/2 inch tab now back on the right hand side. This is the base with the thicker pieces. This is all of the top. With these very top thin pieces, from the score line out, if you just pop a little curve into those, it's just going to make it a bit easier when we go to stick them down and add the string. Be careful, don't pull them too much because you don't want them to rip. Just a little bit of a curve there is just going to help a lot. So if we bring that around, you should have something like that. Okay, so that's all cut. I've just done my gift tag there, and then if you want to decorate the front here, you're going to want 10 pieces that are 7/8 of an inch by 1 7/8. So they're just slightly smaller than these panels here. And then you just want to stick those down. Now I've just embossed mine. I've kept it the same red colour, and I've embossed it with this Crafter's Companion basket weave. But if you're using pattern papers and things like that, then I think it's just easiest to stick those down now. So just pop that last one just in there. So you want those stuck down. You want your tab on the right hand side, and you want to make sure that you've curled all of these pieces. So next we can attach the tab end here. So I'm going to use my quick grab glue, and I'm just going to cover the end here. And if you fold it over 1 2 3, I'm going to fold over this way, and then you'll have 4 here, and then just fold over 2 of them and it will join up like so. So just give that a minute to dry. So next we're going to stick down the base. So I've just kind of started to put it all in so you can see where you want to go with this. So what I would recommend doing is folding them all out, and I'm going to start with the side where I've joined it. So there's my join inside there. So I'm going to take this one, and I'm just going to stick them over each other. Now they don't need to completely line up like that, so they cover the whole piece. Just a little bit. If you just move those 4 around, you'll see how high and where you kind of need to stick it. If you use a liquid glue, it's going to be better because you'll be able to, you know, move it around a bit, but you want it like that. So I'm going to grab my glue and just pop it on the end there and just stick that one down, probably sticking, I guess, maybe 3/4 of an inch over the top. And then again, I can just test and all those ones are going to go nicely, and again that side as well. So then once you've got the middle one, you can just do each one then as you go around. So I'm going to add some glue on the back of this one and just make sure the sides sit together there, and just stick that one on top like so. And then I'm going to take the next one and stick that one down, and again, and then that last one like that. As long as you've got them pretty much all the same, you know, that's all you need to do. And then those ones there, you can see, are all just going to fit quite nicely over the top like so. So I'm going to do this one so I can get that one in the shape that I want like so. I'm going to do that one. And then the last two like so. And then with this one you can just go in and you've got something to push down on them like so. Now it should stand up. So that's how you do the base. So it's pretty easy. Just once you get those first two where they need to be, then the rest are all ready to go. But it should stand up on its own. So now we can start sticking these pieces. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the outside, and then I like to use a pair of tweezers and just bring it around so the end sits on the top of the fold, or sorry, that score line, and then fold it down. I mean, however you want is going to be fine, as long as you've got that loop, because that's what you need. Oh, make sure it dries before you lift it. That's what you need to fit your ribbon through. So your ribbon might be much thinner. Mine's more of a rope or like a lace kind of thickness. So I want to make sure that's going to fit through. But now you can see you've got that shape. So again, a little bit of glue on the edge, and then just bring that around, and then you can pinch it together in the inside. So you just want to do that on all the rest. So you should have something like this. And then I've got my rope here, and I've already popped a little pom-pom on the end just for a nice effect. And then I'm going to feed this through. I want to make sure I've got the join at the back. So I'm going to start here and just feed that all the way through. Next, you want to cut yourself a piece of cardstock that's about 3/8 of an inch wide. It's kind of like 1.5 long. This is for the drawstring. Yours, you may not need as big as mine. You might have like thinner ribbon like this that you're using. I've got this thicker rope, so I need it to be quite, you know, obviously longer. So what's going to happen is this is going to wrap around. We're going to end up trimming some away, but it's easier to have it longer. But if you kind of wrap it like this, but you want there to be a gap in the middle. So you want to kind of pull the ribbon apart. There needs to be a gap there. So I've pulled this over to that folded side. It's easier for me to just show you what to do, and then you can do it yourself rather than give like measurements. I'm going to put a thin bead of glue there. Don't need to worry about that one for the minute. I'm just going to wrap this one around so that glue sticks, but you want that to be able to slide like so. You want it to be quite tight on there so it will hold itself in place. I'm just going to give that a minute to dry. And now this end is open, so just open that one up and pop the other ribbon, and then I'm going to pop my glue here. Now if you don't want to have your raw join on the side, then you can do this so it's hidden underneath, but no one's going to notice this. And I'm trying to, well, as I always do, trying to make things easy for you to do. Again, squeeze that so it's nice and tight, and just make sure that both of those move through nicely. Okay, really make sure that middle one is completely secure And then with this one, I'm just going to trim to the end like so. So you should now, once it's completely dry, be able to pull that nice and taut, and it will hold itself in place. I've then got this ribbon and my gift tag, so I've just stamped a sentiment. I thought this one worked quite well. Santa Claus is coming to town. I've put a little eyelet in the top there, pop that through there. Then I like to pop like the left side through, like so, and then the right hand through the same one, and then tie it. And that just means your tag will stay nice and like it will just lay nice on this, and then you can just tie it off in a little bow. In fact, I'll do a knot first. Now you can trim this as well if you want. I actually quite like it long because you obviously want to make sure you've got enough to be able to open this up fully, so it does need to be, you know, pretty long. So I will measure that and I'll pop the measurements in my blog. I reckon actually there's about 15 inches there of string. Okay, but there you have it. Isn't it just adorable? It's so cute. I think they're lovely, like I said at the beginning, to stuff in the tree, to have as your place settings. Just add that disc. I'll bring this one back in here actually, and the size of this disc is 5-inch diameter if you want something of a similar proportion. So that's like a table favour or under the tree. This one is going into a hamper, but it also looks good actually stuffed into the tree, you know, your Christmas tree itself. Either way, I think they're both adorable. And then I've got my lollipops to go inside. So we've got this one here. There's a few other bits to go in there as well, but that will hold itself quite nicely once everything else is in there. And then again with this one as well, you can see how it looks when everything's in there. So that is the end of my Christmas series 2021. I hope you've enjoyed all of the festive projects that I've shared with you over the last few months. I've thoroughly enjoyed sharing them all with you. I've loved seeing your versions of them, receiving your emails, your messages, reading your comments. It's just always so much fun. And yeah, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love doing this and I love sharing everything with you. I'm now looking forward to putting away all of my Christmas stuff and starting to use all of my new supplies. So I've already got tutorials filmed. I just need to edit them. So I've got some to go up between Christmas and New Year, and then I've got lots of good stuff planned for January and going into the new year. So can't wait to start sharing all of that with you. As always, I'll link as much of this product in the description box below, along with all of the social links and just other good stuff there. Lots of common questions that are asked, links to like the glues and stuff like that. That's all there as well. And just happy holidays, guys. Have a lovely Christmas if you are celebrating, or just enjoy being with family, time off work, whatever it is you're doing. Enjoy and take care. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye.